Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics, and today this video is my response to Allan's top 10 list of the week, the Floating Heads covers. Um, so I went through a lot of my books and I had so many floating heads that I had to actually make some decisions. So what I've done on occasion is I picked out 10 books that I really like. Occasionally, the head isn't completely floating, there's a neck, but in all of these books, there's nothing more than maybe up here and more. And I know that may not be by the strictest definition of the word, a floating head. It is so much better because I got some cooler covers as well by doing it this way. And if you don't like that, let me know in the comments in terms of bending the rules a little bit. But my goal here, as always on a top 10 list, is to show books that other people won't necessarily show. I want everybody to see books across the spectrum, as many books as possible. I know that I literally would love to have a book that has every cover in it so I could see the cover of every book that's ever been written. Okay. This is, of course, as usual, in no particular order. These are literally just books that I thought were cool. And I'm going to start with Superman 27 from the current run. As you can see, we've got Mercy in the back. We've got Lena Luthor. We've got Luthor himself, and some cool guy in the corner. And as I said, like there are necks on Luthor, for example, but Mercy and them look like they're floating in the background. So this may actually be a little more towards the floating heads, but I like it. So it was a good story too. If you're not reading the current Superman run, you should be. Issues 25 on have just been really good. Next up, Warlord 58. I thought this was cool because the heads were on playing cards. You got Travis Morgan, you've got his wife and friends, and of course, this could have been a skull cover too, and it almost was because of the Joker on the thing from last week. But I decided to save it for another one, and here was the opportunity to use it. Next up, Son of Satan 2. With the big, you got the cool Son of Satan in the foreground, and then the floating head in the back that I find really cool. I just bought this, so I read it real fast before doing this video. Really cool story. The Son of Satan 1 to 3, great story. It's 3 together, and I'm in the middle of number 3 right now to finish the story, and it's pretty awesome. Next up, again, this is a little bit off. By the way, you might notice a bit of Mike Grell in this. I've been reading a lot of him lately, so I've had a lot of his books out. This is John Sable 17. Now, the floating head has a floating hand with a gun, and I thought that was cool. Especially since the floating head is coming out of an Olympic torch. As you can see there's the Olympic symbol and all that stuff. And it was just cool. And the Olympic torch actually has relevance if you read the book. He's protecting a gymnast slash dancer from being killed by the KGB after her boyfriend was killed. So that's pretty cool. That's John Sable Freelance number 17. Next up is Defenders 83. Not only are there floating heads on the side in the Marvel way, but it's the big floating head of the Hulk that caught my attention. Plus, of course, anytime you can have a cover with a guy with wings, you go for it. Next up is one I actually bought recently, is Suicide Squad 31, with the big floating head of a priest above Amanda Waller. This priest likes to collar criminals. And if you think I'm joking, read the book. Next up, a recent book for Flash 23. Flash is in the foreground, but there are three floating heads behind, and they're all enemies that he's fighting in this current issue. I think this Bad Moon Rising series is over per se, or it's pretty darn close to being over. It's either the issue or the I haven't read it yet. It's in my to read pile. But this is a cool floating heads cover. Also, by the way, I like to use more recent books than this as possible because I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Kirby. I don't know why. Next up, we have Dazzler 1. As I said, the heads aren't completely floating on this one, but this is such a classic cover that I couldn't resist. I'm a big fan of the Enchantress, by the way. I don't know what it is, but women who are evil, just do it for me. Next up, the last of the Mike Grell books, but I like this one because this is Warlord 63. Not only is this a floating head, this is a Mike Grell cover, but this is the first work by Dan Jurgens at DC. And I think maybe professionally completely, but definitely at DC on the interiors. And so, why I picked this as a floating head? Well, look inside the crystal ball. You got Travis Morgan's head in behind some his friend Rostov, the werewolf, and of course, a cat is looking in on it. For those that know the series, they know the cat is a shapeshifter. And the last book I went with is All Star Comics 69, which has a classic type of floating head. There's been a lot of Justice League, Justice Society crossovers over the years, and for the most part, all the covers have these types of floating heads on the side to identify all the characters. Well, I picked this book because it's one of the first appearances of the Huntress, as it even says, and introducing the Huntress. There were two. This is one of them on the same day. So I went with this one because of its key significance and also because I like the Justice Society more than I like the Justice League. So, but it was hard. I went through about 7 different covers to finally pick one. And I went with this one, as I said, because it's an intro. So those are my top 10 floating head covers. If you want to partake in the challenge, make your own video of floating heads. Oh, if only I could do this, you know. Make your own video of floating heads. Tag Comic Collector Geek Allan, and he'll watch your video. I'm going to watch your video if you tag with the Tag Friday Comic Challenge because I love these videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. Tell me which ones you liked. Tell me which ones you didn't like. It's all good. I like most of these books because they appeal to me. Like one of the reasons I picked the books I did was as I went through, I'm like, ooh, this is cool. Ooh, this is cool. And I am hoping that you guys will find it as cool as I am. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.